Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call the People Parks and Public Works Committee to order. And if the Deputy Clerk would please take the roll.
Councilmember Moreau.
Here.
Councilmember Gruber. Councilmember Patterson.
Here.
Vice President Harris excused. President Melendez.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll be starting with me turning my papers around so I can read them. Okay. So introductory number 313 is a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $625,000 bonds of said city to finance a Parcel 5 phased implementation project.
There we go. Okay, so excited to see some investment in Parcel 5. I looked at the preliminary phase, and it looks like it's mostly basic infrastructure, adding water, I think, and power to the site. Could the administration give us a sense of timeline for the next step of the process, the expansion phase, the third leg, if you will, of when that might happen in terms of budgeting and timeline?
So thanks for the question. Just to clarify, are you asking for timeline? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Are you asking for timeline just related to the item that is before you or something beyond that?
Yes, I'll clarify. So I'm asking for timeline for what might happen after we get through this phase.
Yep.
When are we getting to that next level of planning?
Yeah, so I think that's predicated on funding, and I think what might be useful is, I feel like, dangerous when I quote without calendar in front of me, but I feel like at some point between now and the end of the calendar year, we have a DES project update work session.
Yep.
I might suggest that we devote 10 minutes or so of that to kind of put some context around the other things that we could potentially do around Parcel 5 and what that timing might look like.
Sounds good. And I did get some feedback from various festival organizers about when we get to that final phase of design. There's some elements that are in there like fencing and other things, and wondered what will be our engagement with some of the larger festivals in terms of making sure we're not taking away from or changing things that would impact festivals.
Yeah, no, great question, and I think certainly that would be essential, because the only thing worse than doing nothing more there than would be to do something that isn't conducive to the great activities that we know happen at that site. So we can talk more about engagement when we take a deeper dive, but I think that's got to be part of the discussion. And even I would just say in the transmittal, some of the things that are listed I would refer to as illustrative, right, or things that we could do, but certainly predicated on funding and further discussion around what might make sense.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, Councilmember Gruber.
Thanks. I'm happy to get into the weeds a little bit more during a work session, Deputy Mayor, but I do just want to ask specifically about the power that we're adding to this space, which I think has been the biggest downside to that use of that space at this point. Is just when events are there, everyone has to bring in all sorts of generators and backup generators, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just looking for clarity. Is there only going to be the one place? Yeah, if this is to Director Pierce, by all means, is there just going to be the one place for bands and the stage to have power, or are there also going to be kind of ancillary spots on the side for things like food trucks and all of the vendors? What's the power situation going to be?
So largely, one of the most important features is that the stage setup, having a power panel there to power the staged events, but we're also planning to run power along the adjacent side streets so that there's power points along there that vendors, food trucks can tap into as needed for events. And we've worked with special events to make sure they're located appropriately for how they set up and stage events, so that those ancillary power points are at the most advantageous locations.
Great, and that's all along both of, I forget which streets there, but it's all along both. So
Cortland and Andrew Langston Way.
Thank you. So when parcel 5 is at its fullest, and there's vendors lining up on both sides all the way down, there's going to be power setups all along the way for everyone on both sides.
Correct.
It's great. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Councilmember Smith.
Yes, can you tell me where I can find how much we've spent in total on parcel 5?
I would say we can provide that in writing. I don't know that that exists in any one place, so we'll definitely put that together and get that in the form of a written response. But thank you for that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, can I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Introductory number 314, amending the official map relating to the Main Street Commons project. A public hearing will be held on Thursday, August 20th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Any questions or comments?
Move it.
Yes, Councilmember Gruber.
Sorry, thank you. So, legal question, Patrick. So we're not changing this to. It's an official map amendment, but we're not calling this parkland. We're calling this right of way. Is that the technical definition here? Yeah.
Correct. It's considered right of way. It is not parkland.
So park, obviously, we can't take back parkland. But if somehow in 20 years, whoever is on this dais decided that they wanted to put a building there again, I hope that's not the case because the project's phenomenal. But this is something that is reversible if someone wanted to.
Reversible locally. We'd have to go through our right of way abandonment process, but yes, we would not have to go to the state. It would not implicate parkland alienation.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 315, authorizing an amendatory agreement related to the Brooks Landing Revitalization Project. Any questions?
Move it.
Now we can vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 316, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $850,000 bonds of said city to finance the cost of the Blue Cross Arena Bowl Seating Replacement Project Phase 1. I have a question, which is the second part of the question I had regarding purchasing. So the purchasing that we're using went through New York State Office of General Services, and while those contracts are generally considered to give the best price, it's not necessarily the best price. So the question I had was whether we had done research aside from the OGS pricing.
No, we did not do any specific research into the pricing for the vendor that we found on OGS. They had the type of seating that was needed for the replacements, and it was felt that we would not be able to do any better than OGS.
Yes, given the fact that this will be multi-phased and it is an entire arena, I think that having done the additional research would be very helpful, and I would request that before we continue on with our seating, that we do take a look and make sure that they are offering the lowest price. I don't know if that will end up creating problems in the future if we're not able to use that same vendor, but I think it's important in such a large project that we just make sure.
Yep, I appreciate the
Understood.
question, and definitely is something we can follow up on. Although it generally on
Mhm.
state contract is the lowest price, we should know that. So thank
Okay.
you for the question, and we'll follow up.
Any other questions? Yes, Councilmember Gruber.
Is it the same exact number of seats, or is there an addition or subtraction at all?
We are not making any changes to the number of seating, overall seats. So
Just
this is
new
just
comfy seats.
Pardon?
Just new comfy seats.
Yeah, there were some incremental changes, relocating the cup holders. We did not make any changes to the seating width due to the strong desire to maintain the overall number of seats.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 317, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $600,000 bonds of said city to finance the Gardner Firehouse roof replacement project. Are there any questions? I just wanted to make one comment, is just that I did inquire about the Broad and Allen Street Firehouse, which is close to completion and should be opening up in September. I have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Introductory number 318, amending bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York. Are there any questions? This is about the LED upgrades
Move
and
it.
pole replacements.
Second.
And these will be, during our committee review, these will be following dark sky. And a piece of that is the fact that there won't be glass around the new LED lights, which ends up creating glare that would go upwards. So all in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Introductory number 319, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $550,000 bonds of the city to finance the 2026 LED upgrades and pole replacement project.
Comment.
Yes.
The Northeast thanks you for the new upgraded lights.
Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, can I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 320, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $3 million bonds of said city to finance the acquisition of 15 general fund motor equipment items. Any questions? Yes, Councilmember Gruber.
So how do these differ from what we bonded for last month? And why didn't we just bond for all of them at once?
Yeah, last month when we came in to council for refuse trucks, refuse vehicles, this is more special services, general maintenance vehicles types that we're going to for this time.
Is there, not that I think it matters all that much from our perspective, but is there a benefit to either bonding them all together or separately?
The budget director answer. Go ahead.
I saw her getting ready. She was jumping at it.
We prefer to have separate bond authorizations for the different vehicles because the specific enterprise fund pays it back. So refuse fund pays back the refuse. This will be general fund, and the next one is local works.
Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
I also wanted to mention that I did bring up the idea of electric vehicles, and we are a ways away from having those as they're about 3 times the price of what we currently can get for gas. Yes, Councilmember Patterson.
Same question for items 20 and 21, delivery timelines. When do we expect to get these vehicles in service?
For most of this equipment, you're looking at about a 18 to 24 month lead time.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, can I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 321, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $2,264,700 bonds of said city to finance the acquisition of 10 local works motor equipment items. Questions?
Move it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The motion carries. Introductory number 322, authorizing a professional services agreement for legal services relating to brownfield properties. Any questions? Yes, Councilmember Smith.
Yes, we can get you those answers to those questions in writing. As far as why we are staying with Harter, Seacrest, and Emory, is they do have staff that are particularly well-versed in brownfield law. So we have found that they've been instrumental in assisting our own law department in areas where our folks don't have that kind of environmental expertise.
Yes, Councilmember Martin.
In writing, can you just provide a copy of their findings or any reports they've prepared over the past few years?
Yes, for those that exist. Usually it's conversational or advice. It's not a report thing, but I can give you some of their findings. I can think of some off the top of my head, yes.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Can I have a motion?
Move it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Introductory number 323, authorizing an amendatory grant agreement with the New York State Office of Children and Family Services. Questions? I have a motion.
Move it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. With no further business before People, Parks, and Public Works Committee, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
All right, everyone. At this time, I'll call the Public Safety Committee to order and ask the Deputy Clerk to call the roll.
Vice President Harris excused. Councilmember Gruber. Councilmember Leslie Smith. Councilmember Lupian. Councilmember Martin.
Here.
Councilmember Monroe.
Here.
Councilmember Patterson.
Here.
Councilmember Smith. President Melendez.
Here.
Thank you.
And we're joined by Councilmember Lupian. For the record. Okay, so just a couple quick things. We only have one item this month, so I do want to just point my colleagues to the public safety updates from the administration. We all have that document as well as the interdepartmental update from the PAB. So if you have questions around that, I'll entertain them. Otherwise, you can certainly reach out to each of the departments. I do want to highlight one concern that I have regarding something that we passed last month. So last month we voted on the RCSD support for before and after school and police service at games. And in our budget, in our questions and answers last month on, this would be introductory 303, last month, Vice President Harris asked about whether or not the agreement was voted affirmatively by the entire Board of Education. And in the answers we got, the agreement was affirmed by the board, five in favor, 1 nay, 1 not present. And this council then acted on false information. The information was not accurate. The board did not vote on it yet. And I just am really frustrated by that. And I've had this conversation with the vice president too, because she was the one who asked the question. And it's my hope that nothing ever gets put in front of council that has not been previously affirmed by the Board of Education before we get asked to vote on it. So that's a statement, not a question. And with that, I'll move us to the, yes, Councilmember Martin.
So just, it's a nice segue. I fully appreciate your comments, Mr. President, and I'm curious to understand how you guys got that wrong. Like, walk me through how you gave us that answer.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. I mean, I received those responses from departments. The mayor and I review them, and we looked at the same thing. And we thought we looked at it and thought that it had been affirmed just based on the information that we were provided. Obviously, we were incorrect. Obviously, we spend an awful lot of time answering questions for council, and it's our job to get it right. So we own that, and that's what I have to say about it.
Got it. So you and the mayor review questions. You review them from departments, as in the police departments or the NBD. So you're saying you got the wrong information from the police department?
I think I will just say we reviewed the information that was provided. In fact, the vote tally that was given was the vote tally from last year's vote and not this year's, and that should have been made clear.
The vote that was stated in the document was for the summer school vote. Yep. The board had not yet seen the resolution related to the regular year or the special events.
The point remains. It was not clear that it was a piece and not the whole.
That's helpful. And yeah, thank you again, Mr. President, for putting that on the record.
Thank you. All right, so we have one item this month, is introductory 324, authorizing an agreement related to SAS law enforcement intelligence software. Any questions, comments, concerns? Yes, Councilmember Smith.
Yeah, can you tell me if this information can be accessed to other federal, state, or county or local operations? Will they have access to the information in this system?
no one has access to the information without going through us, that being my office, my command staff. So any outside information requests we look at on a case-by-case basis. Obviously, there are certain agencies we are prohibited from giving information from, and they would not be able to receive that information.
Can you give us a list of data? I don't know if it's data points. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I'm trying to understand what kinds of data this system would collect specifically. And then I'm curious as to what happens when, say, you accidentally get information on someone that turns out to be incorrect. They're not the person you're actually looking for or whatever. How long does the system keep or maintain the information inside? Is that clear?
Yes, and I'll have to get it back to you in writing.
Thank you so much.
Any additional questions?
I do.
Councilmember Martin, followed by Councilmember Lupien.
What current system do you use to manage confidential informants and the fund management?
So the current system is called CAMS. I don't know what the acronym stands for. I can get it back to you in writing. I can tell you that the problem that we've had, that the reason I wanted to replace this, is the system can no longer do math on its own without being double checked. So the cash, drugs, all the stuff the Vice Squad deals with, they have to manually keep an Excel sheet to double check the computer system that we bought previously, which can no longer, for whatever reason, you'd have to ask Nick, do math functions. And anything to do with property, obviously, is very alarming to me. It needs to all be thoroughly tracked, and that's why we used the City Hall project manager system, got a project manager assigned, and did our due diligence on this system.
Got it. Thank you. And you mentioned that certain agencies wouldn't be able to access it. You can put this in writing, just what agencies could access and what agencies can't access the information.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Councilmember Lupien.
My question was answered.
Any final questions? Entertain a motion.
Move it.
Been moved. Seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And with no further business, the Public Safety Committee stands adjourned.